Supper with Stub, supper with Stub, mixing up drinks and making grub, pairing beer and wine with the dishes we love. Come on in and see the spell of Supper with Stub.
Hello friends, welcome to the second of 3 episodes of, let's call this Supper with Stub mini Thanksgiving special episodes. We're going to show you how to make one side dish and then pair a beverage you can have for your holiday table. Today we're doing a little twist on a classic. We're doing bourbon sweet potato casserole. So to start out, all the ingredients are here, but to start this, it takes a little while to do. In some certain steps, we're going to take our potatoes and we're just going to take a fork. These have been cleaned and washed and you can see they're already dry. We're going to take a fork and just pierce these a little bit. This is going to keep them from bubbling while we cook them in the oven. Our oven is preheated to 450 degrees. And you can see we're just putting some little scoring holes here in the top of these before we throw them in the oven. I've lined my pan with foil because what's going to happen is these, we know the sugar content of these are high. You're going to get some bubbling out, and cleaning these pans afterwards, well, it's no easy task. So go ahead and line these things with foil. So we're going to take these to our 450 degree oven. We're going to slide these in and let them roast off for about an hour. All right, friends, you can see our potatoes have been in for about an hour. You see some of the sugar bubbling out of them. That's why the foil is very, very important. We're going to let these cool for, honestly, probably 20 to 30 minutes before we peel the skins off of them. Just basically so we can handle them easily. All right, friends, we've let our potatoes cool for a little bit. Once again, we do this with our hands. That's why we're letting them cool. So you see how easily they pull apart here? I'm gonna move these a little out of the way. And we're just gonna mash the meat of these potatoes. Oh, and our oven's up to 350, which we're gonna need to bake these off here in just a minute. All right, so we're literally just mashing the meat of these potatoes. And if you just pinch those skins open, you should be able, mostly top and bottom, to get all of that meat out of there. If you need a little help, grab a spoon. Once again, you let these cool too much, this is gonna be more difficult. If you don't let them cool enough, you're gonna burn your fingers. Nobody wants burned fingers on Thanksgiving. All right, so you see we have our potato skins in there. You might have seen on the top of one of those, you get a little bit brown where they sat for a while. We're gonna give those just a preliminary mashing with the potato masher, whose basic sole use other than, well, mashing potatoes, maybe the once or twice a year we actually do that, is to make sure that the one drawer you keep it in never opens as you want it to. All right, so we have this. We're gonna leave our potato mixture right there, friends, and what we're gonna do is come over to our stove here. We're gonna put our small saucepan, medium-high heat, medium-ish heat. To that, we are gonna add 1/4 cup, or a little more, of bourbon. I love using Maker's Mark for this. I keep a small bottle actually in the kitchen for cooking. And sometimes I put it in the recipes. So we're gonna add our bourbon. Here, the pan's a little warm. To that, we are now going to add our brown sugar. So basically what we're doing is dissolving this brown sugar in the bourbon. You're gonna get a nice, sweet, smoky smell on this. This isn't gonna take long at all to do, because it's gonna come to a boil fairly quickly. All right, you see this starting to boil. Our sugar's starting to dissolve a little bit. Oh, look at that, got some fire on there, yay. Flambeing. All right, you saw that. Be a little careful when you're doing this that you don't slosh any of the bourbon over onto the flame. You will get that flame. This is about done. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this over and add this to our somewhat pre-mashed sweet potatoes. All right, we're gonna leave that here. Now to that, we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients. Lemon zest, lemon juice, both fresh of course, and then salt and pepper. This is an optional, just for flavor. I put about a half a tablespoon of each into this mixture here. I'm gonna go ahead and use my masher a little more just to mash these up a bit. And because of the meat of these, you don't get lumpiness like you would in regular like mashed potatoes. Now I'm just gonna take a spoon and stir this around really well. Just to get all our seasonings incorporated in there well. Now we've got our bowl here, and we're just gonna go ahead and put these in a nice casserole dish. And once again, 30 minutes at 350 will be perfect for this. You can do this in a large casserole or small ramekins for individual servings. If you want to do that, I'm going to recommend doing that after you bake this whole thing off for a half hour. That's just going to help incorporate some of the flavors into there. Nice and smooth. Once again, in the oven, 30 minutes at 350. All right, so we've just baked and solidified these potatoes together. Now, what goes on top of sweet potatoes or yams for Thanksgiving? Of course, it's marshmallows. Some people love them, some people don't. As I said earlier, you can now at this point dip these up and maybe into individual ramekins and top them with the marshmallows if you'd like. For us, I like the ooey gooey deliciousness all over the entire casserole. So we're gonna pop these back in the oven for about 3 to 5 minutes or so. Get these marshmallows nice and brown and melted. All right, friends, we've had our marshmallows on top of here, kind of baking and browning off for about 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see what we have. Oh, look at that. All right, so we have our sweet potatoes here. Let's dig into these and see. If you want them a little more brown, you can turn on the broiler as well in your oven to brown those up. Just be very careful. Once the marshmallows start browning, you know, we should all know, they brown very quickly. So we're gonna take a spoon and go all the way to the bottom, and then look at this great combination of sweet potatoes and marshmallows. Now, here's a fun fact. Your good buddy Stub is not the biggest fan of yams or sweet potatoes, but this is a delicious recipe. So I'm gonna give this a go just to make sure I made it right. The lovely thing about sweet potatoes, even with the marshmallows, they're sweet, they're savory. It's a great accompaniment to all the other super savory dishes on our plate. Now, the question I get asked most this time of year is, Stub, what wine should I buy for Thanksgiving? I don't want to spend a ton of money, but what goes best with the meal? I and other wine experts around the world are going to tell you Riesling, Riesling, Riesling. You can't go wrong with Riesling. Here's the cool thing about Riesling. It's made from a bone dry style up to a super sweet style. If it's made correctly by any makers at any price point, even the sweeter styles are going to have enough acid that it will stand up to the savory flavors on your Thanksgiving plate. All right, so today the first wine I'm pouring here is the dry Riesling from Chateau Ste. Michelle in Oregon. This is a great example of the variety. You get some stone fruits, you get some minerality, you get acid for days on this wine. So comparing this to something that's, you know, a little sweet, we get a little peppery in there as well from the spices we added. But it pairs beautifully, and neither the wine nor the dish gets lost in there. Now, there's also, this is a basically right in the middle medium dry Riesling that Chateau Ste. Michelle also does. So this wine is great. It's gonna be a little sweeter. It's probably gonna be more palatable for friends and family around your table who aren't normally wine drinkers. So it's gonna taste sweet to them. It's fruit forward for sure. There's definitely residual sugar on there, but there's enough acid to carry that and still stand up to these flavors. Just as a great example, because we have sweet and savory in the same bite. Let me just try that with these. And it's amazing. I will tell you, even though I'm not the biggest fan of sweet potatoes or yams, every holiday when I make this dish, I always dip myself up just a little bit because it is pretty good. All right, friends, thanks for joining me for this second mini episode of Supper with Stub for the Thanksgiving holiday. We've got one more to go, and we're gonna do one of our favorite dishes, desserts for Thanksgiving next time, and come up with a nice after dinner cocktail as well. Thanks for joining me. Please share this out. Share with me some of your Thanksgiving traditions in the meantime. And until then, stop coveting, start drinking. Cheers, friends.